All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode here on LAconic. Today, I'm joined with a special guest as well as Adam as well, too. So say hello, Adam.
Hey guys, this is me again.
And we have a special guest, David, and then, how do I say your last name?
Carrillo.
Carrillo, okay, David. And then, basically, how long have you known Adam?
Oh man, we go way back.
You go way back,
Yeah,
okay.
since like Santa Cruz days. So it was like in high school. We went out to Santa Cruz to study for a month, and that's where I met him. And ever since, like, we just clicked and we just stayed friends.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, well, today we're going to have a special interview with David. Adam's going to kind of lead the interview here. But thanks again, guys, for all the viewership that you had on our last podcast. We were really excited to see the number of people that viewed. We got the little update emails, and I was like, whoa, wow, that many people listened.
Yeah,
so it was really fun to watch that. We really do appreciate it. Again, if you have any feedback or anything, let us know. Leave a comment. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment below. Hit the like button, too, as well. If you're watching this, or listening to this, rather, on any of the other podcast platforms, please make sure that you leave a rating, a comment on whatever platform that you subscribe on. We are available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, two major ones, and a few others as well, too. So definitely leave us that feedback. We do appreciate it. You can also follow us on Twitter at @B_Laconic, and also on Instagram with the same name, B_Laconic. And we definitely need to be posting more on the Instagram. So
definitely do. Yeah.
But if you want to follow us there, you can. It's an easier way to get a hold of us that way, too. So but... All right, we will get started on this interview. Thank you, guys. I'll pass it over to Adam, who's going to lead it on for us.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so, I've known David, as you said, for a while now. It's been, I think, for, since high school. So I've known him for a while. I moved down here to Southern California, which David resides in, and that's how we started, stay connected and, got to know him and really, get to, go visit his, he showed me his city, and, I just, got a little bit more sense of who he was as a person. So, we just headed off. I mean, we were really good friends. And now, I'm actually witnessing something crazy going on with David's life right now. And I really wanted to bring him in here in this interview because I just really thought he has a lot of great things to say. And I wanted to give him that voice and that platform to be able to express what he has to say. Anyways, I'll let you guys let David introduce himself and tell a little bit about himself to the listeners there.
Hey, what's up? My name's David. I'm from South Central LA. I'm actually starting up a business. It's called 42KM Collection. Currently, it's like something I'm working on the side. My primary job. I'm working with kids with autism. I'm a behavioral consultant.
Okay.
I work with kids with special needs, specifically autism.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And as far as when you said you grew up in South Central LA, can you talk about that, the growing up experience? What was it like to grow up in South Central, and how is your life different today than it was back when you were
Good question, Danny. Good question.
mean, growing up in the hood, it's kind of normal, so I don't know if I could tell you that I went through a lot of shit. I went through a lot of stuff. I could say profanity?
Yeah, of course you can cuss here. Yeah. Of course,
right.
I cuss all the time.
Okay,
You feel free. It's your interview.
All right, yeah. All right. Growing up in the hood, it's like, it's a tough place to grow up in, but it's just it just becomes normal to you. Growing up there, I wasn't aware I was going through shit. I was just living through it because it was part of my life. It was normalized in my personal life. Come on, getting shot at 12 years old was something normal, so I would say that yes, I went through stuff, but at that moment I wasn't too aware of it. And then as I went on to college, every summer vacation I would come back home and I would notice it more. I was like, oh dang, we're actually in a little section and we're segregated from the wealthy, and we're actually treated differently. First of all, our streets, they're filthy sometimes, street cleaners don't even clean accurately. There's a lot of homeless around, and all of that is just normal, bro. And as I was saying, as every time I went back to college and came back, I just started noticing more. I was just more aware, of the differences. I actually went to school in Gettysburg in Pennsylvania, and it was a lot different there. You know, the streets were clean. I felt safe at night. I could walk around at 3 a.m. I could look at somebody for longer than 3 seconds and say, hey, without like feeling like some type of disturbance, like as if something was going to happen to me, you know, versus in the hood, you look at somebody and it's already like, what's up, bro? Like, we going to catch a fade or what? Why you looking at me for longer than 3 seconds? You know, so boom, there goes that. I went off to college. I came back. Once I got my bachelor's degree, I came back to South Central. I moved in with my mom's, and I knew I wanted to do big things, you know, but I just didn't know what. So then I moved on. I told my mom, hey, just give me 4 months. I'm gonna move out. So boom, I go ahead and I moved out, and I ended up in Watts in a garage, and I lived there for like 3 to 4 years about. And I recently just moved out this December. So now I'm living in downtown Long Beach, you know, like I'm living a new life now. It's a new chapter. But I would say my life is a lot different from now and then because one, I'm more aware of the situation that my people are in, and two, I'm living like a life with purpose. Versus back then, I did not really have a purpose. I just kind of was. I had like, I would say if we compared both. When I was in the hood, I had the mindset of let's get rich, you know. We got to do what we got to do to get rich because we're tired of being poor. Yeah. Now it's like yes, I do want to reach a status where I'm a little bit wealthier, but it's just due to because I'm tired of like saying like my mom's got to pay her rent. My mom is complaining about this. It's like I just want us to survive and feel comfortable and actually live. You know, so my current purpose is just like, is like first to be able to provide that to myself and hopefully one day to help others achieve that. You know, I want to help people achieve the shift in mentality because if they don't have mentorship, they don't have advisors, they could be as hardworking as they want. Like I have friends that have 4.5 GPAs off of high school, but since they had no real mentorship, they're back working at Walgreens as a manager. Come on. So I want to make sure, like my legacy now, I want to make sure that I help guide people, you know, the right direction. Obviously, like the people who are actually trying, you know, they just need the right mentorship. So I would say, a big mind change, you know, and all areas in my life.
How was it for you, like leaving, you know, South Central and going to Gettysburg and being there? Like obviously it was a big culture shock, but how was it like actually going back and forth? Like, because I've always noticed, like I know you're struggling with this right now, but I've always noticed like when I went out to college, people thought I was too good. Like oh, you're in college now, like you're better, like you can't hang out with us. Like we still stayed in our same neighborhoods, and you kind of ventured out, and then you come back and it's like they kind of like it's like they don't accept you, in certain ways.
Like you went to Gettysburg,
which is
traditional
liberal,
white American, very different from Central. Like, so like that's a huge shock. So like I guess it's a two-part question, and like Adam's saying, it's just like, how did you deal with like the people that were judging you, like from the hood going to college, and then also like what was the culture like being in Gettysburg?
Yeah, all right. So, man, so I guess let's start off at Gettysburg. You know, let's just say I flew out there. I'm finally there. First of all, it was like a full-on culture shock just even moving there. So being there taught me that I had to learn how to speak a certain way because I couldn't have conversations with the people that I was surrounded with. You know, in South Central, we're not taught to how to have a discussion, how to have a friendly argument and teach each other stuff. Like, you're not taught that. Like, I had no idea how to do that. I remember it was every time my friends would talk, it was just a one-sided conversation and me saying yes and getting lost in the sauce. Like, I had no clue what they would talk about. Sometimes it was very political, sometimes too, the discussions. But I learned that I had to learn how to speak a certain way, and I had to like up my knowledge. I had to do so many things, you know, that we're just not taught in school. So boom, here I am in school. I'm struggling through, and I'm learning how to talk a different way. how to discuss. So boom, I obviously advanced a little bit. I wouldn't say I got to that like dope, like that good discussion point. And then summer came in, I had to come home, and I went to go kick it with all my boys, and I just didn't know how to have a conversation, because now I'm lost. I talk slang, but I'm kind of having discussions now, but my friends don't know how to have discussions.
Right.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how do I...
We say it's more like an educational conversation compared to like a regular slang conversation.
Yeah.
It's like distinguishing the difference.
Yeah, you just don't know like what the balance is, Like, I didn't know how to balance it out,
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, so it was like a big shock.
Perspective.
No, it is, really is. I mean, I just catch David's like story very fascinating. I mean, I think for me, where I really like, when we reconnected, I didn't know he was doing all this other like side things. I still thought he was doing his behavioral, but I saw him post something. I was like, David has like a retail thing going on. Like, what's this? Like, he's selling stuff, right? I'm like, what is he selling? Like, what? Like, I'm interested. I know his work ethic. I know how he's a good worker. I just know everything about David when it comes to that side. But I didn't know that I've always known that he had good style, like for streetwear and stuff. So I'm like, it kind of made sense. So I reached out to him and I was like, yo, like, what are you like? What are you doing? Like, I'm actually really like curious to know like what you're up to.
Yeah.
And he was actually in Long Beach, so it was cool. I was like, wow, like crazy. He moved to Long Beach, and I was like, moved out of humble beginnings. He was living in the garage thing, and I was just like in Watts, and finally got out, and he's was in Long Beach, and I came over and we just started talking, and he told me a little bit about his idea and what he's doing. I told him about the podcast, and it was like, I really was like, I really want to be part of that. I want to be part of that movement, because I know he has like a good idea behind. I think I just love the statement behind it and what it represents. But I did mention it before, guys. I mentioned you guys I was interviewing David for 42KM Collection. So here he is, the CEO of it, and I just want him to be able to express to you guys what it means for him to have that company, and what's like his vision with it, and just go from there, and just make it fun. David.
All right, cool. So 42KM Collection.
Yeah, where did the idea come from?
Yeah, oh man, we have to go back a little bit. We have to probably go back like a year. So let's just say a year behind. I was like I was still living in the garage. I was like fuck, I'm tired of this. I want my own place. I want my own bathroom. I don't want to have to commute from the garage to the through the outside and then go to the damn restroom, bro. To go to the fucking restroom, like there was days, like rainy days, where I had to go through mud just to go use the restroom. I had to shower and come back out cold as fuck to go back home. So it was like that was daily, and like I saw my dog. I was like, she doesn't have space. I don't have space. Mm-hmm. And all of that got to me, so I was like, what? How do I switch my life up, like in the future? I was like, well, I gotta stop spending so much. I started like reading more, trying to read like more articles on learning how to do stuff. I started looking into different mindsets, mm-hmm. of how wealthier people talk. I started looking at podcasts. I was like, all right. It kind of seems like a pattern, like everybody talks about the same thing, mm-hmm. Like one, elevate your circle. I didn't know what that meant at the time. That's one. Two, like it said, like surround yourself with people with like same mindset. I don't know what it meant at the time, but I just knew it was just like a constant they talk about that. They're like, let go of bad habits and better your habits and you'll see results. I didn't comprehend it. I just knew it told me to do that. I was like, all right, that's mm-hmm. cool. So then I started hustling, I was like, all right, I started making a Excel document where like I started tracking out my finances. I was like, all right, now I have an understanding of my finances.
Okay.
All right. So then I started seeing how much left over I had every biweekly paycheck for myself. So I cut that into 1/4 for myself for spending, and 3/4 into 42KM Collection. It was a little bit, it was like a humble start. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, you know what? I want nicer clothes. So then I started 42KM Collection. It didn't have the name. It was just like kicks and something. I don't know. But it was just for
we all
me.
start somewhere,
Yeah, it was just like just to make money, that.
Yeah.
And then like as time went by, like my mindset just started shifting. It's like is like, what do I want in this life? Like, what do I want to get out of it? And then I was like, you know what? I actually just want to help people, you know, like that's always been something that I do since I was younger. I help people change their mindset, you know, get good grades, etc. I was like, why don't I just do this with my company? At first, I didn't see it like it could become something that's true in the real world. You know, I still don't fully see it, but like I have a vision for it, and my vision is so strong for it that I know it's gonna happen. But So let's go back. It started off as a hustle. Then I switched my mindset that I want a legacy, for myself. You know, for myself, for my family. So then I started shifting into like listening to pure Nipsey Hussle. I just started jamming out to him all day in to day out, work, etc. I was always like jamming out to him. I was jamming out to Nipsey Hussle, Meek Mill, Lil Snoop, and Larry June. These 4 guys talk about like positivity, hood, getting your education up, etc., etc. So then I was looking at like Nipsey Hussle's story one day. I was just watching a documentary, and he says the marathon continues, and then I was like, this is a marathon. Like he's just been saying this in his music. Like this is a marathon. It's a sprint. Like to get out to like make it.
You gotta go for the long run.
The long run, yeah.
It's not a get rich quick type thing.
Exactly.
Well, we've been talking about that forever, the instant gratification thing. Where people like instant think they're gonna be famous, or instant think they're gonna make money. It's like, no, it's not gonna happen.
And that's why everyone isn't successful. It's because a lot of people really want that instant gratification, but not everyone clicks like with what you clicked, where you realize, hey, you know, and for you as Nipsey, that like helped you realize that, like, hey, that you had that mind shift, like, fuck, like this is. Like everything I'm doing is a marathon, and it's not going to be quick. It's not. I don't have to get on myself for being the fact that this is not happening fast. It's like I'm just gotta keep going because it's just gonna keep happening.
Yeah, exactly.
And how did the name 42km like
yeah
and stuff?
So that goes back to the marathon Nipsey Hussle. You know, I was like, it takes 26 miles to run a marathon. I was like, what if you convert that into kilometers? I converted it, said 42. So I was like, all right, 42km collection. Here's my collection of stuff. But yeah, so 42km collection. It's you want to pause it? All right. So 42km collection is more of a mindset of like the hood and a direction of a mindset, you know. So 42km collection is this thing where I'm trying to create. Yes, it's a company, yes, of course, but I'm trying to make it a mindset. So I'm trying to bring in people that want to work with me but not work under me. That's what I'm currently doing. So I'm helping them develop their own companies, but like nah, bro, I'm not gonna pay you, bro. I'm not gonna pay you. You're gonna put in the work. I'm gonna put in the work. We're gonna make an investment. You're gonna put in most of the work because this is part of your company, and I'm gonna get a certain amount. You get a certain amount. I was like, it's about helping each other develop. So I'm trying to. So that's what 42km stands for. Is like the
bring other people up with you.
Yes, exactly. I can't just go up alone. Like, what's the point of going up alone?
That's what we're talking about. Where I talked about this with David, how he like wants to feed people from his plate, like you eat, I'm eating, type of thing. And
right.
I mean, just speaking of that, like David, I know you told me before, like you try to give this mindset to people from the hood, and but then you got it out of the hood, and then you told me you got a reaction from people, as in like they didn't respect the fact that you're in Long Beach now, and they thought you're like, oh, you're too rich or you're too good for us. But then like how does that affect you to like continue with your passion of like your mission that you want to help people from the hood, but then you hear all this crap back? Is like, how does that make you feel? I mean, like,
yeah, I mean, like, it makes me feel all types of ways, you know, but it gets to a point where you're just so used to pain that you get over it, you know. It's just, you get a scar, put a bandage on that motherfucker, keep going, you know, get another scar, keep going. So like at this point, like they try to scar me, I'm so scarred that like they can't get through my callus anymore.
Okay.
You know, and on top of that, what created my callus was like the idea of my mom. The idea of my mom is like I've been trying to buy her a house since I was 17, bro. I'm 26 now. I still haven't bought her a house. You know, I'm not one of those lucky few that get rich like that. You know, I'm just somebody from the hood, really just trying to comprehend the new mindset and trying to make it happen. And I'm just like, no matter what happens, no matter what route I take, my mom is gonna get her house, you know, before she passes. So that's what keeps me. She's like the foundation of my tree, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I like that. Get to give back, people, to those ones that love you.
So for people that are interested, what kind of clothing style is 42KM?
It's just like hype beast clothes, yeah.
Mm-hmm, okay.
So I just sell like Jordans, Supreme, V-Long, etc. So that's what I'm currently selling. Like the things that most people like are really interested in currently, like in relations to street fashion. That's what I purchased.
So it need to be street fashion. You're not gonna do any like Balenciaga or any of that stuff.
Nah.
Right? It's only like just like street fashion.
Yeah, it has to be strictly street fashion because I actually want to, since I'm connecting back to the quote unquote hood, is like this is where fashion comes from people in the hood. We're the ones that have created fashion over time. Just other people have more access to attain some of the material, which is, you know, whatever. But this is why I want to stick to straight street fashion, because it's like, this is hip hop, this is rap, this is graffiti art, this is what it is, you know. It's like fashion is part of that too. And I want to make sure that like it connects straight back. That's why I want to stick to straight street, you know, because when I go out and create like some sort of centers to help people with mindset, mentorship, etc., like I want to make sure that everything is connected together. You know, it's like a nervous system, I would say, you know, like.
Yeah. It's a good analogy,
yeah.
And then so is it like you have to kind of keep up with the trends too, then, to like make sure that like 42KM is always on trend and everything.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like, you know, when never mind. I totally get what you're saying about staying in trend.
You mentioned a little bit like how you have future aspirations eventually to build like mentor establishments for young kids and stuff like that. Adam also mentioned too in the past that you have some experience in that, or you're still currently doing that.
Well, yeah, the ABA, right? Behavioral.
Yeah.
But that actually ties into where I was going to ask him about like keeping up the street fashion and stuff. Like, how do you actually use your degree for like your retail stuff?
Yeah, so my degree, all right, so it's like I got my master's degree in psychology with a specific emphasis in applied behavior analysis. Behavior analysis is like the science of behavior, you know. I'm not saying that I'm the smartest guy in there, but I just grabbed what I needed from the science, and I'm trying to tie it into my business to comprehend people's behaviors so that I could manipulate my company, which is like the quote unquote, that's my environment. I shift my environment to switch behaviors. Yeah, so it's like, how do you reel people in organically rather than buying followers, you know?
Like the marketing and stuff. Like you're trying to do it in a different way.
I'm trying to do it like what is the science behind trying to get the next person to follow me, you know? So it's like I have a very long plan utilizing my skills. It's like organizational behavioral management. I don't specifically have that certificate, but I kind of comprehend where it goes. So I'm like, all right, so if I kind of apply what I know in applied behavior analysis, I should be able to utilize it in my company. So if I utilize it, I'll get the results that I want. You know, obviously I have to adjust so much. So something from behavioral science that I've learned in the past is like something is never perfect. You always have to adjust. So if you think of something, you just put it out there, even though it's not perfect, it's not done, it's not ready. No, just put it out there and adjust as you go.
Right.
You know, and that's something that I've learned through behavioral science.
Right. That's awesome. It's really cool too how even our last episode we were talking about just like knowing your worth, and when you get to that point where you realize that like you're worth something, and your time is valuable, and your life means something. And it's kind of cool just to hear you have your own like aspect of that, as far as like when you you had the realization with the marathon and like what that meant to you, and then also like just your mom being the foundation of like, the core of it is what you're doing. I think that's so awesome that drives you. So everyone has something,
Yeah.
So it's just really cool to hear like other people and kind of how they have what drives them, I guess you could say.
I mean that's why his like hearing about like his like, I will define your worth as in like you let those people say whatever they want to say about you, but you kind of know like at the end of the goal you're like, my mother is everything to me, so I'm not gonna let anyone stop me from getting to that
like
point.
we talked about in the past, like I think both of you guys, just in the places that you grew up, have every reason to be like that person where you could say like, I'm the victim. Just be in that victim mentality where you always have your hand out. You always want someone else to do something for you. It's always everyone else's fault why you're not rich, why you're not successful or whatnot. But both of you had some sort of mind shift and realization where what you were in, your circumstance wasn't good enough, and you wanted something else. Mm-hmm. And so you both took the steps to do that. I mean, getting a master's degree is a huge accomplishment. I don't even have a master's degree.
I don't either.
Barely anyone has a master's degree, so that's like a huge accomplishment. And like both of you guys, I think that's what's really inspiring to me, is like seeing how like anyone at any moment can literally just say, you know what, I don't like the life that I'm in. Like you said, I don't like being able to go outside to go to the bathroom, or go into the house and I'm in the garage. Like you just had that realization, just like, I want something better for myself. And and I feel like everyone can relate to that. You know what I mean? Everyone can find something in that helps motivate them too. It's just you have to find your purpose, and it's like that's a huge takeaway from that. But as far as 42 km, like what is your plans moving forward? I guess at least let's say 5-year plan.
Everyone does a 5-year
plan. Yeah. All right. I actually don't have a 5-year plan, but I do have a vision for my 10-year plan. My vision is like, or 10 years, 5 years, 4 years, 2 years, who knows, because you can make a specific goal and it'll adjust through time, which is okay, adjust your goals due to environmental factors that can shift the direction of your goals, which is okay. As we age, we mature our goals. So my current goal is just kind of like, here from 5 years, where do I see myself? I see myself like being at least like 50% of the way of where I want to be, if not 100, it just depends on my following and who hears me out, who's willing to stop and actually like listen to my goals in life, because it's not my goal is to help people, and it's selfless, like I don't like my goal is to help people. Like, why shouldn't people like mess with my ideology? But yeah, my goal, I would say, moving forward is just to hopefully have the community centers up and running, have mentors there. I currently have a designer, so she's gonna help me mentor people in relations to design. I have an artist. She's in school currently for art and design, so she's gonna come out and work as well with me. I have another dude who is very motivated to help people in like our neighborhood, so he already has that mindset. Number 4, I have a family marriage therapist, and she works specifically with kids that are going through a lot of psychological struggles. And so that's where my team is looking at right now, and it's only been like 2 months since I put out like my vision statement to the world, and it's just like naturally it's just attracting people. I didn't, like, for example, last year I did not see myself here where I am today. My goal was a lot smaller than where it was today. So what I'm saying, I could have a goal. I could give you a goal for 5 years from now, but it's probably gonna be a lot bigger than what I give you. So I rather not give you nothing and let's see what happens.
How do you like finding these like people and stuff? Are there like mutual friends, or is people just randomly hitting you up like, hey, I actually want to be part of your vision?
Yeah, so it's
Probably no networking.
it's kind of like both, you know. You just kind of talk about it, and they just mess with the mindset, and they're like, "Oh, I fuck with you," you know. Like this is my truth, you know. And I'm like, all right, that's dope. How like, let's see how we could work together, and little by little, just it's like there's a puzzle out there, and it just fixes itself, you know. As long as you manifest your beliefs and you show it through action, like energy just starts coming together.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I just feel like it's been attracted naturally.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Did you have any other questions?
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to maybe wrap it up, and definitely wanted to, let people know like what's exciting about right now with 42KM, like what's popping, like what's booming, as they say, what's booming.
Yeah, that's a good question.
What's booming, what's going on right now? Like it's we heard about it and stuff. I want to know like what's in the works right now, like just in general.
It looks like there's gonna be a lot of upcoming drops. You know, it's like Nike and V-Long, Supreme is like sometimes it's like it's endless, bro. You just don't know what route it's gonna take, in my opinion, because it could be one day this is the fashion, the next day this is the fashion. Like currently where things are headed, as based off what I've been seeing, is like things from the 2000s are coming back, like baggier jeans with some kicks, baggier clothes, but it's like they make it more fashionable than they did in the past. Or I wouldn't say fashionable, because at the 2000s that was the fashion.
That was the fashion, yeah.
That was like you fly if you look like that. That's what it is today, but just with its own twist. That's what I would say.
It's a little more modern twist on it.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then, like, as far as the business, like when you guys do these drops and stuff, where can they find the collection or see what you guys are currently offering at the moment?
Yeah. You could tap in on my Instagram, 42KM collection.
Okay.
42KM.
Are you on any other socials or just Instagram for
Okay, I'm currently focused on Instagram, since people that I'm surrounded by usually typically do have an Instagram, so it's just like it decreases my workload because I have so many other things to do. I'm like, this is the easiest way to connect to people currently.
Nice. Okay, so you heard that.
Yeah, we'll definitely drop it down to in the description.
Yeah, we'll
below
put the description and we'll
okay.
add it to the show notes as well too.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah. So I just wanted to thank you for telling your story and sharing with us a little bit of kind of your background and about 32KM or
42KM. Come on, man.
About 42KM. And also, if you guys have any comments or anything you'd like to ask David or just share, please let us know on Instagram. You can DM us. Hey, you can DM him if you want to.
Yeah.
Maybe you were inspired by what he had to say and you want to have him on your podcast or, whatever. Collab with him, whatnot. Reach out to him on his Instagram. And again, we're going to put that in the show notes and everything like that. But yes, leave us comments. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And again, you can follow us both at B_Laconic on Instagram and Twitter. And do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, and check out the YouTube video. We actually have one with video this time, so it's good. We got recording right now, so
wave right now at the camera.
We got a camera waving out. So, yeah, definitely. I do definitely appreciate it, David, you coming out and expressing, telling us your story and stuff. Like it's
awesome. Adam's been looking forward to doing this interview for a while. He's been telling me about it, and like I said, I knew a lot about you, so I wanted to hear it from you. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. No, I really appreciate it, and tune in on our next podcast episode.
Hey, I appreciate you guys having me. You know, it's a pleasure. For me to be able to say my truth in camera.
Yeah, it's awesome. Awesome.
Of course.
All right, guys. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next time.